I am W, and this is my world. Today is Story Time Sunday. It's where I have a story that's in my head and I bring it out to you. Now I'm about to continue my Black Box series. This story is called Choices. Let me get started. So, there was a family who had a summer home in a secluded area in the forest. It's a summer home, so in the middle of the summer, they had to go out to their cabin to spend 2 weeks in there and go swimming and enjoy nature and what life has to offer. So when they got up there, somebody was already at their door. It was a man in a black hat and a large trench coat with a briefcase. So the father gets out first because the mom and their son is scared. His son is about 13, 14 years old. He's in that rebel stage. He love his family and whatnot, but we all been to that stage where we just hate everybody but love them at the same time. So the father gets out and he was like, listen, buddy, I don't know who you are, but you better get up before I call the cops. He said, sir, you have a choice. He said, in about a couple of hours, there's going to be a severe snowstorm. And you'll be snowed in. The snowstorm will subside if you make a choice to either 1, sacrifice yourself for your family, or 2, kill your wife and your son. He opens up the briefcase and he gives him this box, this black box. And he set the box out of his hand. He's like, listen, buddy, I don't know who you are, but you need to get the hell out of here. He said, you have 2 weeks to decide. He passes his briefcase and he leaves. He said, take your box with you. He said, no, that's not my box, it's yours. And he just leaves. The son gets at the car after the man in the trench coat leaves, and he was like, Dad, take the box. There's nothing in the box. Opens up the box, and there's nothing in there. Closes it up, and they all go inside. They unpacking stuff. The police was called to search the area, and the man could not be found. Officer said, no, this seems like no one was ever here. So the family probably think they was being a little paranoid, but they was thinking like, all of us seen the same person? Whatever. So they get in, and after a week, after a day, they have fun, swimming and whatnot. They go inside the house, and just like the man predicted, a severe snowstorm just whisks over the whole summer home. They're immobile, they can't move, the electricity has been knocked out. The father said, look, we got enough food to survive here for 2 weeks. We should be fine. And the father's name is Tom. Thomas, he's a very successful man. He owns his own business firm. He's pretty much one of the upperclassmen in the world, And his wife doesn't work, and she kind of lives off of him. He takes care of the family. And the son, he don't know what he want to do in life. He's just trying to enjoy life. He listens to a lot of alternative music and rap and hip hop. He just trying to, enjoy, get through high school pretty much. We all been there face. We're just trying to make it. Just trying to make it. All right. I'm sorry. I like that song. The wife gets a little scared. She's like, look what we're going to do. He said, look, we're going to hold down the fort. Got enough food to survive for 2 weeks, so we should be fine. It's the middle of summer. There ain't no way the snowstorm's going to last more than a day. The sun's going to come out, melt all the snow, and I'll go out there and I'll fix the power when that happens. So it's all just, light some candles. We'll eat some of the canned food that I've stored here and we'll be fine. Now, they only got a week's supply with the canned food. A lot of the food they bought was, meats and stuff that had to be cooked over the stove or over a fireplace or over, anything. So their food was going to go bad. The father knew that, but he didn't want to tell the wife. Now, the wife's name is Lorraine, and the son's name is Jack. So Tom, Lorraine, and Jack, they just trying to get out the storm. 3 days go by, and they start looking at the black box, thinking about what the man said, kill two of the family members and survive, or sacrifice yourself to save the two of the family members. So Tom was like, okay, look, I know we're all thinking it, so let's get it out in the open. No one's dying. He said, ain't no way one of our deaths can calm down an entire snowstorm. Ain't no way. Lorraine, like, the power hasn't came back on 3 days. All our food that hasn't cooked over the stove has went bad. All the meats, all the dairy products, everything that needs to be refrigerated has gone bad. Tom, maybe we should talk to that man again. He said, look, they couldn't find that man to begin with, 1. And 2, do you really believe in magic? He said, ain't no way one of our deaths can calm down a whole snowstorm. She said, but if it had to happen, would you sacrifice yourself for your family? Tom was like, of course. Of course I would kill myself for my family. He said, but we're not going to talk about it. So a few days go by. They're down to their 5th day. And they're getting down to the last of the canned food. Because they've been eating a lot of the canned food, a lot. They only got 3 cans left. And they're trying to ration it, but you're going to ration so much. She was like, Frank, I'm cold, I'm hungry, and I'm thirsty. The pipes have frozen over, so we can't even get water. She said, I think we need to talk about this. He said, what we do, Lorraine? Kill myself so you can get my life insurance policy? She said, oh, what you want me to do, kill myself? He said, that would make more sense. He said, I should provide for the family. She said, you only want me to kill myself so you can continue to sleep with that bitch. He said, what are you talking about? Then Jack like, Dad, we all know about your mistress. Emerald. Remember her? Because we didn't. She said, yeah, all your extra money you be claiming you be spending it on Emerald ass. She said, that's why we've been low on money. That's why we've been behind on a few bills, because you want to provide for that bitch. He said, look, first of all, I don't even know who you're talking about. She said, Emerald Jackson. She said, of course, you don't know who you're talking about. We know her first name and her last name. He said, okay, so what? I stepped outside the marriage for a little bit. That was only because you haven't been giving any sex. He said, besides, you've been taking all the money. So, they're going back and forth. Jack, like, look, I can't take it anymore. That's all y'all do is fight. I'm going into my room. He goes in his room and he slams the door. She said, see, now you got our own son turning against each other. She said, I'm not the bad person. I'm not a bad person. He said, yeah, right. So you haven't been fucking a pool boy? She said, that's so cliche. He said, yeah, it's so cliche when I came home early and you was riding his dick on top of on our bed sheets. So she got quiet. She said, that's because you've been with Emerald. I'm trying to get back at you. He said, look, we're going to survive this, and when we do, we're going to counseling. I'll stop giving money to Emerald. He said, but I haven't been giving all my money to Emerald. He said, obviously the money been going elsewhere, supplying condoms for the pool boy. So they've been going back and forth for hours on hours. Eventually, it stopped, and the next day went by. When Lorraine got up, she went in the kitchen, and Tom was covered in blood on the right side of his body, and he had a knife in his hand that was real bloody. She's like, Did you kill Jack? He turns around, he looked at her. He said, what else could I have done? And she got so hysterical, she grabs the gun that was in the back of her robe, because she was wearing a robe. She pulls out a revolver from her robe, and she shoots him in the shoulder, and then he fades back and he runs out the kitchen and hid behind the wall. She said, I knew you was going to try to kill somebody. She said, that's why I got prepared. He said, you just let me explain. So you killed our son, and started shooting at the wall. And he's just moving out the west, bullets coming through the wall, and he went into the living room. She ran out of bullets, and she ran out the room into their room to grab the shotgun that they usually use to go hunting for animals. She loads the shells up and she cocks it. When she comes out the room, she was like, Tom, I just want to talk. she goes around the corner. Tom's not there. So she looks around. Tom was hiding behind the island in the kitchen. And she goes, she's on the opposite side. Tom sneaks around and he just gets the jump on her. He slams her down to the ground and tries to stab her. When he tries to stab her, she moves her head to the left like this. Well, on your point of view, it's the right. And he stabs her, he missed. And she hits him a few times. She sticks her finger, hits a few times to the stomach. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. Hit him a few times to the stomach and then sticks her finger in his bullet wound and starts twisting it. He starts screaming, then he just headbutts her. You know, she drops the gun and she gets her finger out the wound. And then he started just pounding her face in. Then he grabs the knife and then he stabs her in the shoulder and twisted it. He said, first of all, I didn't kill Jack. He said, but trust me, I'm not going to be the one who dies around here. He said, since I killed you, now I have to kill Jack. The storm is going to subside, and I'm going to get out of here scot-free. He said, then I can have a life with Emerald Jackson. He pulls the knife out of her shoulder and then just stabs her right in the face. Now, Jack seen the whole thing. So Jack is in this room, and Jack sneaks out the window, and he shuts the window, and then he jumps down. Jack was smart enough to have, I'm so sorry, long day. Jack was smart enough to steal the keys while they were fighting. He steals the keys to the car, he jumps out the window, and then he opens the car door, and he just hides in the back seat. Tom picks the shotgun, and he was like, Jack, are you still asleep? He goes into Jack's room, and Jack's not there. He said, Jack, if you heard what happened, I am not going to have a life for Emerald. I just want to piss off your mother, that's all. I love you, Jack. Come out. He goes, creeps around the living room, dining room. Couldn't find Jack nowhere. So he said, fine, you ungrateful fucker. He said, I'm going to burn this whole house down. Hope you be okay. He lights a match and just throws it and just start burning the whole house down. He opens the car. He had, fuck my keys. So he runs to the car door. He opens it up and it was already unlocked. He didn't think twice about it. He said, great. Get in the car. And he just sits there and watches the whole house burn. He said, But he went looking around, and the snowstorm is still as strong as ever. He's shivering in the car, and he looks in the rearview mirror, and he sees Jack. Jack has a knife and goes around his dad and just slices his dad's throat, clear open, and blood just splatters on the window. He said, Jack, why? He said, why you kill Mom? He said, and I was the one who was taking the money. I'm sorry. I ain't mean for y'all to start fighting. He said, but you killed Mom. And it stabs his father in the heart. The snowstorm subsides an hour later. The electricity came back on, the towers came back, and they used a cell phone to call 911. And, well, sorry, he, not they. They came out, put the fire out, and Jack got in the back of the police car, was tried. It was self-defense. Jack is back at the house, getting ready to move into an orphanage. But turns out his family had a nice lump sum of life insurance money, so he was able to live at the house. He'd be able to live forever and be able to be set for life without having to work a job. So during that whole process, a week later, a fireman was like, oh, everything in your house was burnt down except for this black box. He said, we opened the box, we ran tests on it and whatnot, and there's no types of poison or anything. Jack remember opening the box and not seeing anything to begin with. So Jack puts the box on the table and he just looks out the window. He goes to therapy sessions 4 or 5 times a week. And then he remembered something. The their pool boy one day didn't show up, and their dad, his uncle, did. And one day he remembered seeing his uncle having sex with his mom. Angered that he had the even nerve to show up to the funerals and act like, nothing happened, like he wasn't involved in the whole dispute between the mother and the father. Jack gets mad, knocked the box off the table. He looks down at the box, and the box is kind of open. He picks up the box and opens it all the way, and a spirit jumps into his body. He said, I helped you with your deepest desires, help you get through them. He said, and I see you want to kill your uncle. So get in the car, drive to your uncle's house, and kill him. And that's what Jack did. Jack got in the car, he drives to uncle's house, and he knocks on the door. The uncle's opened up the door, and he was like, hey, Jackie, what's going on? He said, did you have sex with my mother? He said, excuse me? He said, did you have sex with my mother? He said, Jack, to be completely honest with you, I did. And I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. Jack was like, me either. And just stabs his uncle in the stomach. And just start gutting him like a pig. Intestines falling out. And Jack started laughing hysterically. And stabbed him till his uncle bled completely out. Covered in blood. The uncle's wife screams and called the police. And after Jack did what he did, the spirit leapt out of him and just left. Jack came to and realized he didn't kill his uncle. And the police showed up at the door, and he gets hauled away to jail. The man in the black trench coat comes, picks up the box, and he said, on to the next victim. And that's it. So like, comment, subscribe. Keep watching the Black Box series. Maybe I'll try to make the next one shorter. So I am W. This is my world, and peace.